Hey everybody, this is John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com, and today we're going to talk to you about some of the benefits of having a swingers relationship. And one of the first ones that Jackie and I found early on in our relationship as we delved and explored the swinger lifestyle was it really opened up our communication with each other. Wouldn't you say? Before we had done anything, some of the questions that come up, at the time when Jack and I got together, I owned swingers clubs. So of course you had questions about the swingers clubs, and that is an easy way to put your foot in the door to start talking about it for you. With a lot of couples out there, though, they don't have that benefit. I mean, they've seen something, they maybe have seen a TV show or something like that, and they're wanting something about it excites either the guy or the girl. And the way to broach it is, it's just simple. Start talking about it.
Yeah. Well, and I know for me too, since I knew so little about what swinging entailed, and I'm a big reader. So that was one of my first things was the trip to the bookstore. Or getting online and looking up books that I could read, so I could just absorb it in my own time. And then that way if I had questions, I could go to John and say, gosh, that's what this book says, and, what about this, and what's going on? And it began to not so much normalize swinging, but I began to see it in a light where it was normal. Yes. So then it took a lot of the questions or maybe fears that I might have had about it. So yeah, it definitely opens up communication. That's
There's
for
no
sure.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
The other thing it does, it helps you to fulfill your sexual fantasies without having any guilt. And as long as the couple says, there were times you said, do you think I'm weird for feeling that way? You remember? And, if you support each other as a couple, you're not going to have any kind of guilt feelings or shame about some of those fantasies you might have.
Yeah, well, and I think too, and again, I'm speaking for myself, is from a woman's standpoint, it was really easy for me to feel guilty about wanting to explore my sexuality and to be, wild and crazy and really branch out onto things that were really new and different for me. And so to be able to do that in an environment where I had a lot of affirmation and a lot of love, and I was told that, it was perfectly normal if I wanted to try that, and that I wasn't strange or odd or anything like that. And so that made it a really nice level playing field in order for me to try some of those. So yeah, it was really important.
Also, getting into the swinger lifestyle, it goes beyond the traditional marriage without affecting the institution of marriage. Is that right? Yes.
And I think that's a really important point, is because I think sometimes when people are first hearing the term swinging, they tend to vacillate towards something that is more negative instead of it being something more positive. And, John and I are married, and, we do a lot of the same things that other married couples do. We have a home, we pay our bills, we do things together, we are honest with each other, we trust each other, but we also are able to explore some areas within our marriage and within the protection of our marriage that allows us freedom, and it also allows us the opportunity to explore having unconditional love for each other. And I think that's really vital.
A good point. It is.
Yeah.
And we were asked this question, remember, on ABC News Nightline a couple of years ago, and he said, how do you think it affects the institution of marriage? And I was like, really? It has really strengthened our marriage. Absolutely. It has not affected the institution of marriage in any type of a negative way. It's only strengthened it.
No, because really when you think about marriage, it's really about you and your partner agreeing to specific things to envelop that marriage, whatever that is. There's not just a set guidelines of what entails a marriage. And so I think that's important to remember also when you and your partner are coming together and deciding those things is really talking about what you want your base to be, how you want that marriage to unfold and envelop each other.
Yes. You're also able to explore your sexuality without any of the social stigmas that go along with it. When you're dealing with your partner and exploring your sexuality, say it's bisexuality, for instance, and even in a group setting with other open-minded couples, you don't have that social stigma that you might get if you were to meet people in another setting, a bar or a restaurant or something like that may not have the same thought patterns.
That's a really good point, because I remember going to dinner with a group of people, and there was a couple, and they had not ever tried swinging. They hadn't been to a club. She was very curious about it, and I was a safe haven for her because she knew she could talk to me because of what we do. And I was really able to have a good conversation with her, and I obviously helped alleviate some of the fears that she had and some of her own stigmas of what she thought about what swinging is. And so then after dinner, when we all went to our club, it didn't take her long before she embraced the environment, and her husband really came away being satisfied with the experience. Both of them contacted us later to say, thank you so much for opening this door to us, that we can see and experience another level within our relationship and do it in a way that's really loving. So,
and without the guilt, because I know that she was really having a lot of guilty feelings about even considering doing anything outside the social norm.
Right.
And so it was really nice to see her to be able to embrace that and not have to feel those negative guilt, shameful feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you decide to cross the line into the swinger lifestyle, it definitely will spice up your sex life. I mean, if it's just the two of you in bed day in and day out, and then all of a sudden you decide, let's add a third. I mean, there's no doubt it's going to spice it up if you're both in agreement to it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely brings another layer to the relationship, which, once you do that, it goes back to communication. There's another conversation that you can have within that experience, and you learn things. You learn things from other people, and I think more often than not, when we talk about traditional marriage, we kind of encapsulate ourselves in this teeny tiny pod, and then that's how we move. And so when you're able to be in an environment that introduces a more open relationship or a swinging relationship, all of a sudden that just expands, and you get the opportunity to learn things from other people that you can try. You become a teacher. You can show things to people that will be invaluable to them. I just can't think of a better experience and a better way to explore some different options within your partnership. And
it's been incredible. And then, finally, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
We have just had so much fun in doing it. And, Jackie and I don't necessarily do anything. Well, we don't do anything at our clubs normally, but when we travel, that's a time where we can meet new people that are also open-minded. And so be sure to check out on our website the travels, sexy travel section. And on there, you'll find trips that Jackie and I are taking together, and we'd love you to come along. Don't forget to sign up on our email list at openlove101.com, and we'll send you updates on our travel plans, contests we might be having, and different videos and blogs that we're coming out with. So thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you soon.
See ya.